Welcome to episode 4 of Smallcraft Tasmania. In this episode we're taking Little Wing, our John Welsford penguin, from Prince of Wales Marina down to Cygnet. That's around about 40 nautical miles. We've only just launched Little Wing and this is actually going to be our first sail. Here she is. Little Wing is a penguin designed by John Welsford and built by Greg Pullen in Cygnet, Tasmania in 2001. Although designed as a trailer sailor, Little Wing has always lived on a mooring. We purchased her in February 2023 and brought her straight home for a well overdue refurb. Nine months and a few tins of paint, some epoxy and a load of sandpaper later, we had her ready to drop back in the salty stuff. Little Wing came up better than we expected, a real credit to the builder. Now all we needed to do was sail her back down to her mooring in Port Cygnet, and to help me with this trip I had my good friend Ben joining me. But before we left, there was a few final adjustments to be made. we've been feeding down the channel now for probably 3, maybe 4 hours. The wind speed on the nose the whole way, between sort of 10, gusting up to 15 knots, maybe a little bit more. And we're making some good way. 4 to 5 knots. Okay, that's Tinderbox just there. And on this side we've got Bruny Island. This is the beginning of the channel. And we've got a nice beam reach at the moment. There's probably only about 7 knots of breeze, and we're plodding along at around 4 knots. Still probably an hour and a half away from our destination. We're going to head for Quarantine Bay for the night. Spaghetti bolognese. The door's shut. That means Ben's still asleep. Oh, he's just waking up. We're heading off, mate. Ben's making coffee. We've left quarantine back there, and at the moment we've got a lovely beam reach, and straight ahead that's Kettering. You can see some fish farms through there. This is Bruny Island. There's a cherry farm just there. Benoni, Mount Wellington. Should be a quick sail today. I think he's planing. Breakfast time, and I'm treating Ben to my famous toad in the hole. What do you reckon?
Pretty damn good. Bit overdone though. It's not dripping.
What's going on? Where's the wind? So we've fitted Little Wing with a Torpedo, which is the 1180, the 1103 model I think it's called. And I just thought I'd let you know what's going on now. Because the wind's dropped off, we've got this ticking over at about 350 watts, and it's pushing us along at about 2.7 knots. Full throttle, we've managed to get around 4 knots out of it. Ben's just turning her up now. Okay. Now we've got the sails up, so there's a bit of windage. We're also towing fairly heavy little fiberglass. So there we go, 1100 watts, which is what it's maxed out at. We're doing about 3.5 knots, but there might be a little bit of current here. So close to 4 knots, which is pretty impressive. You get just under an hour at full speed on this setup. The wind's dropped off a little bit, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour of Little Wing. I'm sitting in the cabin, obviously, right opposite the galley. Okay, so 2 burner metho, sink. Now the sink is a manual pump which goes into this water tank here. There's just a pipe that comes in to the top, and then the sink drains into this bucket. We've got all of our utensils in here. storage down the side. Okay, so quarter berth, which is, I slept here last night. Ben was up forward and had my feet down in here. That goes right back. You've got more storage underneath here. Underneath the berth, storage. Joe made all the coverings for the cushions and she made the curtains as well. Okay, we've got some fabulous long drawers underneath the companionway here. These drawers go a long way back. So there's lots of storage. We've got two of these. We've also got this tube here, which would be fabulous for fishing rods or charts perhaps. There's room under here for some oars. We've got a 4-stroke 3.5 Tohatsu here as another form of power for which it's a short shaft, so it won't work on Little Wing, but we could use it on the dinghy if we get into trouble on this trip. Obviously more storage underneath this berth. VHF is running off a 12-volt battery, just a gel cell underneath the forward berth. We're moving into the head area. Got a little porta potty here. Forward berth area is huge. Look at this. It's like a big double bed, big queen size bed up here. It's actually, I'm not sure if you can get the idea of just how big this area is. Now I'm 6 foot. Okay, there's probably an extra foot between my feet and that bulkhead just there. More storage down both sides. Underneath the forward berth is more storage underneath here. That's where we keep the gel cell. So this is about a quarter of the area of storage underneath the forward berth. Travel guitar, just touching the top, standing up.
And he's not even crouching.
No.
Not much anyway.
No. Yeah, let me show you this.
That's not a pretty sight, but there is a curtain.
Okay, this is what we've done. We left Prince of Wales, which is just in here, yesterday about midday, and then we sailed down the Huon River. Now we did a lot of tacking, tack.
You forgot one.
And then to the top of this is Bruny Island here, and this is what we call the John Tricasto Channel. So we made it into the channel, no problem. There was about a metre swell coming through here, which was nice and fun. And then last night we stayed up in here, which is called Quarantine Bay. And then this morning we've left Quarantine Bay and we're just about here. And we have to continue down here, down the channel, and then up the Huon River into Port Cygnet. And Little Wing's mooring is in here. Oh yeah, heading down the channel. This Woodbridge over there. This is one of the fish farm, the salmon farm boats, one of the work boats, probably delivering feed or something. It's coming up the channel. Trial Bay just in here, which is a fabulous little spot to launch dinghies. And there you can see the boats in on their moorings. That's Kettering in there. That's where the ferry goes in and out of for Bruny Island. Travels across here. Roberts Point, this is Roberts Point here. We're just ghosting along. Pretty comfortable?
Yeah, plenty of room in the cockpit.
Right, we're just about to jibe up into the Huon, and I just thought I'd show you where we are. In the distance you can see the snow on the Harts Peak Mountains. Alright, and just around that point is the entrance to the Huon River. Alright, so that's Bruny Island in front of us here, and then I turn around to the north. That's where we've come from, up the channel. And Ben's having a little kick up forward. Surfing downwind at the moment. Just having trouble keeping this heady in line. But let me just, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Now, we're kind of sitting around 5.5. We ignore that 14.4 max. That's a little glitch. That's not bad. There'd be minimal current here. In fact, we might even be going against the current. Gonna have to make a whisker pole. Okay, this little rock here, this is called Arch Rock, and behind that is Huon Island. You can see Harts Peak up there with the snow on it, and we've got to head sort of through there. Here we are, coming up to Arch Rock, and it's probably pretty obvious why it's called Arch Rock. It's got a hole in it, you can see straight through it. Oh, that's Huon Island, just gone past, heading up into the wind, about 15 knots on the nose, gusting a little bit more. That's right, there's a bit of current coming down the Huon River as well, which we'd be battling. Ben and I are self-confessed boat nerds. We thought it would be important for us to put in a book review. These are the two books that I bought with me. This is fabulous, almost finished. It's about a fella that's done 68,000 miles in an engineless 16-foot gaff rig around Britain. This, I've only just started. It's lovely. And I noticed Ben's books up here. I'm not sure why there's a tissue in there. That's maybe his bookmark. Anyway,
Good book.
it's a good book. This is a very good book. When did this come out?
About 2 weeks ago.
Just found this. Look at this. That fella there. It's him. It's be lovely. I have to get a copy of this. Port Cygnet up in here.
You're working hard to get around. No, couldn't go under.
No.
Need more
Right,
than
here we go.
better than that.
Going under.
No.
Nearly.
Better than that, nearly, but not quite.
Alright, can't break the mast. Pretty stiff. We're doing our best to break something at the moment. well. We've got about 20 knots, maybe more. And we're doing about 5 knots at the moment, heading up into the wind. Ben's down there stuffing his face again. There's absolutely no food left. He's eaten everything. Some of those gusts were getting a little bit strong, so we decided to put a reef in. Well, actually, yeah, two reefs. We only had the second reef set up, so that's the one that we've opted for. And we've probably knocked half a knot off the speed, but she's... There we go, we're doing 4.2 knots. This is Port Cygnet. Got about a mile to go. Still beating into the wind. And you're probably asking yourself, why did we plan it like this? Why did we beat into the wind yesterday? And why are we beating into the wind today? Well, the answer is children and window of opportunity. Okay, and we're idiots. No. It's been good actually. We've been able to test the rig. We're probably gusting up to about 25 knots at the moment. We've actually buried the rail a couple of times. Porta potty came off its rails and flew across the cabin. But not far now. Actually, I should point out that yesterday, that sea breeze that we were leading into is a little bit unpredictable. Sometimes it comes through, sometimes it doesn't. So we weren't expecting that much. We thought maybe the sea breeze would come through, but it wasn't too bad. We knew that today was going to be like this, but we thought we'd give it a go and see how she performed. We've certainly got to know the boat. Here we are at the public wharf at Port Cygnet, unscathed. There's Jo, come to see us. Well, there she is, Little Wing, on her new mooring at Port Cygnet. 40 nautical miles. I think we spent maybe 23 hours sailing her in the last couple of days. It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to getting back on her.